I'm now doing the rigging for the mast-to-mast. Now on the plans it says that P lines have got to be 45 centimetres long, and the mat goes up to 42, but the gap there and the gap there, I've measured this and this is exactly 45 centimetres long. So I've got the first rod there, 5 centimetres, as it says there, and then I've got the second rod at 3 centimetres, as it says there. Now the rod itself, I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but it's got 4 little grooves going all the way around the rod. So I've just put the rod into place at 3 centimetres. Obviously I've got to push this line up there to go into that groove, and the top one there to go into that groove, but all the other ones are lining up. So let's get cracking on with this. Right, I've now glued the two rods that separate the lines, the rig rod. I've also knotted it both sides, but to be honest, knotting it doesn't look as easy as it does there, because when I'm knotting it I've got to try and knot 4 lines, and the knot should be probably about here, but I'm just going to play it by ear as I mount it to the mast. It's not looking too bad, it's just going to be, I just don't know what's going to happen when I'm actually mounting this to the mast. In the mast-to-masting, I've got a bit of a problem. I don't know if you can make it out, but that rigging rod, it keeps wanting to twist and not sit level, because it should be sitting like that, but as soon as I take that away you can see it twists the other way. I've still got to do the O lines, which go from them 4 rigging lines down to that tube, or down to that rod. I'm hoping these might stabilise it. I just don't know what's going to happen, but I had a feeling that the way those have gone, I had a feeling that was going to happen. Right, it's finale time on the Titanic. Done the last bit of the rigging, decals here and there, a few loose ends to tie up, plus the fact that I went back to work on Monday, so I'm no longer on furlough. So I'm really chuffed, despite the difficulties that I've had, on how this has turned out. So here's the final reveal. Well, there it is, Titanic in all its glory. When I left you, I was having the problem with the rigging rods coming down to one side, and I hadn't put the lines that go down to the rod there as per the plans. I tried to use the thread, but unfortunately I couldn't get it to work. So what I've done is gone back to the food ties. Now the food ties were 70mm long, but unfortunately they were too short. So what I did is I glued 2 food ties together and made the hooks. So I just made a hook on one side and make a hook on another, and you can probably just make out the hooks there. And now these rigging rods are pretty much level. Yes, I know it ain't perfect, you know, looking at it, but it's better than nothing, because there's nothing perfect about the Titanic, you know, with the difficulties that I've had. Once I'd done that and got that to work, I then put the flags on. Now the flags were stickers, so there wasn't decals, and I couldn't get them to bend and like looking like they're flapping in the wind like I did on the lifeboat, because they were foil. So I got the stickers, put a bit of thread inside, and then folded them over. So I've got the US one there, so I super glued that to the top of the mast. I did the same with the White Star line, just put a bit of thread in, folded it over so it'd stick together, and glued that to the mast with the super glue. And then you got this Union Jack stroke blue flag. You can see that it's straight. I wanted it to flap in, you know, manipulate it, you know, like on the foil one, but these stickers, they're dead stiff. If I just turn this round slightly, you can see the thread there on the flagpole. So it looks like some flagpole rope. And like I said, just put that in the middle, folded it in two, and then pushed it down so it would stick to each other with my fingers. It's a shame, like I said, it wore manipulable like the foil, so I could make it look like it's waving in the wind. Right, now, decals wise, you had your Titanic there, there's one on the other side, but with the Academy decals, there was a white Titanic lettering and a yellow Titanic lettering. I tried the yellow first, but it blended that well into the black you couldn't see it, so I'll put the white one down first. Microsol sealed it with a clear gloss, and then with my magnifying glass in one hand and the decal in the other with my tweezers, and then I just manipulated it so it went into the white so you could still see the yellow, because you will need your magnifying glass for this, I will admit that. Then you've got the registry underneath on the bow. I don't know how well my camera's picking up, sorry about the shaky cam. Same again there. Put the white one on first, sealed it, and then with my magnifying glass got the yellow bit and just nudged it up into place, and then sealed that, but it's not looking too bad. Once those were done, you got the waterline level decals. Now in the Academy kit, these are not with the kit, so what I did is I contacted Revel to see if they'd got a spare decal sheet knocking around, and they sent me one free of charge. I offered to pay for it, but they didn't want a payment, so I got the waterline level decal there. I got the one there as well. That one ain't gone down as well as the one on the other side. Turning this round, on this side it's gone down really well, so I'll just say put it down. Now with this you'll need the magnifying glass again, because these are numbers. So you can see the 40, I think it's 41 and 42 on that one. So you'll need your magnifying glass to put those on. And you got the one there as well. Also on that Revel decal sheet, you got the triple screw notice boards as well. So there's one there. There's one right on the back of the bow. Actually, there's no shaky cam now, so you can just about make out the Titanic Liverpool there. So you've got that one there to the left of the flagpole, and you've got the one there as well. So I just put those down, microsol, sealed it with a clear gloss, and then matte coated it after. But they're not looking too bad either. It's a shame that these decals didn't come with the Academy kit. So ask Revel, see if they'll let you have one. I mean, I would have paid, you know, £5 or £6 for the decal sheet, but they said don't worry about it, we've got some spare. And then that's pretty much it. You know, just a few loose ends to tie up, so I'll just, you know, scroll down to give you one last look at it. But I will admit that rigging was a pain in the arse, especially with those hanging down. Like I said, you know that nothing has been perfect with this build, but it is way better than my 2012 version, because I've done all the extra detail, right, rigging the lifeboat davits up the stations and rigging up the cranes. Also, you know, doing that bit of detail there with those little, you know, the rooms, well, you know, the little rooms underneath there on the bridge, the forecastle, and you can probably just make it out on the stern. I'm glad I've done it, you know, despite my difficulties. And that's it. Oh, the one last thing I forgot to tell you about was the base. Now, you You know, I stripped the crown. These were crown parts. I stripped them with the bleach. Now what I did, just get me paint out. I was originally going to paint this by hand with the gold paint, but I didn't think it would look right. So I went to Belston and I went to Bright Bargains next to Poundland, and I picked up this 151 metallic gold spray paint, 200ml can, and it only cost £1. And it's absolutely fantastic. So I sprayed that on. I mean, I did, you know, I painted, you know, I stripped them, then I spray painted them in the primer, then I spray painted this on, one coat with a touch-up coat after that, and it's gone down an absolute treat. And to be honest, they're not that much indifferent from when they was on the chrome sprue, the gold chrome sprue. And then basically around the lettering on this Titanic lettering, I just went with the Tamiya X18 red. I can't remember what colour it was. X18 red. Let me just get me. Yeah, that's it. With the X27 red. And I just went round by hand. Took about, I think it was about 4 coats in the end. And then went with my titanium gold, because that was a virtually an exact match. And then where I'd gone overboard slightly around the edges of the lettering, I just topped up with a brush with that and just went round there. But this is looking absolutely fantastic. I'm really well chuffed with the results. Alright, turning the camera around, I want to thank you for sticking with me for this 3 months journey, and hopefully I haven't bored you too much with it. I'll stick some stills on at the end of this video, and I'll see you fairly soon with the next build. Thank you very much for watching.